has been a very scary 2 weeks. It would be very easy for me to appeal to you with the emotion that has built up. From losing my little Sophie to no longer feeling safe walking in my own neighborhood. For how frightened I become when I think of a neighbor that I passed every morning walking her dog alongside her 15-month-old in a stroller. For how thankful I am that our young dog walker and neighbor, Jessica, wasn't the one walking Sophie on that Sunday evening and had to live the scene with what we cannot forget. While this was and continues to be our worst nightmare come true, we realized through learning about all the other altercations just how close others in our neighborhood have come to having this happen to them. And there's no way that we could live with ourselves if this occurrence repeated because we just curled up in sorrow and let it be. I understand that everyone wants to be a good neighbor and keep the peace. I have been here 17 years, and believe me, so do I. But there has to come a point in time where being a good neighbor is no longer the principal governing decisions, but instead there needs to be some simple common sense. The risk and threats that any loose animal could create can quickly become dangerous to everyone around, as well as to the dogs themselves. We are not here before the Borough Council asking you to enact any breed-specific laws, but instead to enact a more comprehensive, breed-neutral dog control ordinance that is applied uniformly to any breed and to all residents. Reckless and irresponsible pet ownership cannot be tolerated. And please know that if we can be a resource to you, we are happy to be part of the solution. For the purpose of summarizing here, we are asking the Council to consider the following. 1. Establish more comprehensive dog control ordinances for all residents and visitors. 2. Establish a leash law for all animals in public or off an owner's premise. 3. Create stiffer penalties for at-large violations and escalate this significantly for repeat offenders. 4. If possible, bar any resident who has been found guilty of harboring a dangerous dog from being able to obtain and license another animal. And 5. Encourage residents to report and follow through on these types of violations and work together with the New Hope Police Department and the associations to make public risks known. This is being a good neighbor. Had we known the collective history of the Tracy animals, the threat to all of us would have been realized and maybe something could have been done that would have prevented what occurred. And I'm sorry that after numerous escapes, numerous bites, numerous scares, and finally a fatal dog attack, and currently no absolute way to stop them from fostering or rescuing another aggressive dog or dogs and doing it all over again, something needs to be done. Dog ownership is not an experiment, especially at the endangerment of such a physically close, family-oriented community. And it's a shame that in a town with such great people and great animals, that owners such as these haven't made common sense something that needs to be mandated.
I happen to be one of those believers that believes that pit bulls are killers. Okay, I don't want to take it down to this level, but you know, if you look at statistics, about 85% of the nationwide deaths are caused by pit bulls in the United States.
We'll come back in September and kind of highlight where we are, perhaps, but we do intend to look into this in greater depth. Can't promise what can be done at this point, but we are going to look into it.
My name is Wendy Whitehall. I own the pet campus in Pineville, Pennsylvania. I have worked with dogs for about 35 years. I have a kennel full of dogs all summer long, and you take your pick. Chihuahua will bite you as fast as anything else, and you know, a rat terrier will put little tiny holes in you, not big ones, but you know, they all bite. They all have teeth and they all bite. And it's a matter of how well you educate them to the world, how well you train them. It's not, you know, every dog that I ever meet. I've been bit by 4 dogs in 30-some years. One was a pit bull. One was a Samoyed, one was a Schnoodle. That one hurt the most. You know, it's not the breeds, it's dogs themselves, the individual dogs, and how they're raised, and how they're maintained, and how responsible the dog owner is.